What up, gang? Welcome to ETF2L Season 36 Grand Finals for the Open Division. We are here with the final few matches of the season, 3 of them tonight, in fact, both on TFTV1 and TFTV2 later in about an hour's time or so. You can find mid and low. But for now, Open it is with Ice Mob and Deputies running against each other. I'm not alone here. Beta's on production, and with me on the cast is Aya.
Well, yeah, hello, DuMmTm. It's always really interesting to watch these low games because it's just chaos, right? It's chaos theory. No one knows what's going on.
It's really interesting. A lot of it comes down to just like who makes less mistakes, right? Because everyone just plays a lot more like 3D out of just instinct, and with less game sense available, obviously. You just have to better read sometimes. These teams, however, well deserved, I want to say, of the few games I've seen of them, make their way towards the top. They tied in the last encounter in week 6, I believe, against each other before, and tied with each other exactly in the point system as well. -1, I think, from the Polish team, missing a few status screenshots here and there. So they tied in points by technicality there as well. So they have been very, very close before here. Should be very interesting encounter. I just want to make sure I know the map that has been played. It was Metal Gully, which I don't think we see any of tonight. We will be seeing Snakewater as map number 1. Gullywash, actually, okay, we still see Gully as map number 2, and as map number 3, we have Product of all things.
On stream, it says Process map number 2. I don't know if that's the next.
No, wait, it says we ban Process, so that's incorrect in that case. Someone must have just mixed it up, I guess. It says Snake Gully Product on the match page, so I'm gonna run with that. Might have just been confused. Either way, no big deal. Gully Process obviously different maps, but have been played plenty, I think, even in Open Division for these teams. Product is surprising. Will be interesting.
Yeah, no maps that are too weird, just kind of classic pug maps, really. But
what has been interesting for these teams as well, that they, like, especially for Open teams, played a lot more defensive than you'd think for Open. And I guess that has a large part as to why they've been so good, because they just don't commit to a lot of the silly mistakes you'd expect in Open and just, like, play a lot safer compared to some other teams. And it's been getting them here, but they can't tie this time.
No, they cannot tie this time, but I don't know, it might just come down to who is clicking on gamers a little better than the others. And I know you also mentioned that the Ice Mob might have some internet issues.
Oh yeah, that was very unfortunate last week. It made the game in the second map in the semifinals a lot closer than it maybe should have been otherwise. But they were fighting through, having only 5 people for a little while. Had to cycle through like 2 soldiers throughout the game. It wasn't pretty, but they made it work. We'll see if that has to happen again. But I mean, they could fight through it once. Maybe they can do it twice.
Yeah. I mean, you hate to see that sort of thing be a factor, but it's just the unfortunate reality we do live in. ISPs are terrible.
Sometimes computers are terrible, and then people have to Discord screen share their games.
Yeah, couldn't be me.
That doesn't happen.
Yeah, shout out to Dempsey streaming it in like 144p to me.
So yeah, either way, like I said, this should be interesting. Both tied exactly in points, except for, you know, like league minus points there. The only team that got points out of both of them, they only lost points to each other and to one other team, being Wholesome Putus. So we'll see how that goes for these guys. Starting off with map number 1 on Snakewater Ice Mob on the blue team, Deputies, which is what this Russian name that you can see on your screen translates to. On the red side here, heading off for mid number 1.
Yeah, no demos really doing anything too crazy. I think the red demo was a little slow, yeah, just kind of walking lower. It's kind of surprising, but not really going to matter too much. No one taking too much spam. It's red off already. Solidly control the high ground, actually, but we can see bomb from Wuktenga Power directly onto Demoman, so that's pretty good start to the mid, all things considered. And yeah, that's going to be handily won by us.
Yeah, a couple of names that should be tough for us to get our heads around sometimes, I think. But we will make do. As long as they're playing well, that's all we're here for. And for now, like you said, just good high ground control. They didn't let Deputies take any space at all. So the Russians had to ditch early, get chased out all the way to last, actually. It's one of the few picks they've gotten here on Ice Mob. Can carry this forward all the way into lobby. Not with any Uber advantage, obviously, meaning this will slow down a little bit here. But Ice Mob already on the hunt for a sack, and what gun and heavy there. Not gonna let Elysinia get much out of that sack attempt.
Yeah, he didn't want to slow down at all. He was straight on in, but not going to find anything. You bomb into a 450 Putus, you generally won't, or at least you hope you won't.
So yeah, now things slow down quite a bit. Gun's on level 2 right now. Heavy's off the field in exchange for a spy, just
He's
making sure what's happening. Yeah, immediately on the pick class now, seeing if they can get something here. Same on the other side. Elysinia picks up the rifle as well, while they're picking up at least one pick here on Ice Mob. On top of that, getting Light DS one soldier down makes life a little bit easier to peek maybe, but once they know each other are there on Sniper, this is going to probably just be a game of chicken here.
SMD actually does switch off, but I was going to say he should have been aware anyway because he was on Spy checking off classes earlier.
Fair, I guess. Not so much the case for the Polish side, so who immediately just take advantage of the heavy block being aware. Light DS with the D-bomb in, wants to kill once again, will die for it once again, but it doesn't matter, Sniper down. They still lost so many though, to just get in there like that and get forced in the meantime, points getting played. They have to pop to get in there as well, but in the end, they just have nothing alive.
Yeah, they managed to somehow get 3 picks with no Uber, but they're just kind of crumbling on point. There we go, finally. The fight's being won in the post-Uber. First round here to Ice Mob. I got a little too close considering how much of an advantage they had going into that, but I mean, hey, they got it in the end.
Yeah, and they got the situation started well as well, forcing the Sniper sideline deep and then just getting the force from the other side to just have them be so early. They can afford to take the time with that, and it still works out either way, because they just had so much of an Uber ad going into that and just clean up really nicely late on the point. Ice Mob up 1.
Yeah. Again, the red demo man a little slower than I'd like, just kind of waddling through lower, but yeah, not really gonna matter all of that much. Teeth, red pumps it onto Cat. Nice little rocket from DS to find Dare down on the medic, but they're gonna lose 2 for it, and I think that's still gonna be the mid 1, all things considered. Demo man very low, just scouts absolutely botting across the point, but just the one in kitchen now, all alone, all to his lonesome, having to fight a whole combo. That certainly doesn't end up well. Trenderwheel just nuking that last person.
Alright, so far so good. A big change of pace for deputies as well. The Russians just getting a lot better of a start here in the mid-fight with bombs indeed, getting the med early as well. And with their own surviving, that's going to go a long distance here. They're then only on 40 right now. They can easily take this to second. To last will be difficult if they want to make a last push out of this. They have to be very quick and no resistance needs to happen for that. And there's people around, soldiers just looking for some kills. One already. Want to get some more. They're not really finding much just yet. SMD weak, but will escape. Elysinia still in the fight on cheese. Cannot get out of this one. The sniper actually, but Grubsuit saves the soldier.
Yeah, he really did. He was caught way too deep. Just like, hey, I'm gonna peek cheese while their whole combo is there. That's a good idea. But just standard last hold, fair. Still got Grub on the sniper peeking deep. Got an NG gun in the standard spot, or a pretty standard spot.
Yeah, a little bit of hold up here on second between the soldiers just going in and making plays as well as the snipe coming out there. Slowed down the Russian side just enough for the Poles to have some time to set up something here, and all you need is really a standard hold to just be safe and about this. Might have the dispenser at their disposal as well as the gun to protect. Grubsuit tries to peek deep into lobby. Not working too well there, gets spotted by the demo man. Maybe they can get some more Trendwells looking for it, but it's so hard to do.
I mean, with the sentry in that forward position, it's a little hard to like just sack him, but they're actually just gonna Uber straight on it. But Wuktenka just
getting so much cap
2 kills, but guys, you gotta stand on the cap or else they'll just win. And yeah, they did figure that one out. Only Uya? Is that I don't know if I'm butchering that. Sorry about that, but he was gonna go down pretty late to Grub, respawn on the scout. Good last hold.
Yeah, they reacted late there, but not too late at least. Like DS tries to get some sack in there, but not getting through. You have a great position to sack from onto the point there while they're capping it. A little bit too slow though. Spawns just about late. Helped out Ice Mob quite a bit to keep the momentum forward. Here, that moment so far forward as well. Trandroid all by themselves up in enemy soul, but the rest of the team is barely in their own. Already on the way out back to second. That's a bad one to lose here. It's not a ton of momentum with basically everyone up, but that coupled with the Uber that they have is probably just going to be enough if they don't mess up majorly here.
There's some major spam coming into lower and actually stuffs them a lot. And that bomb just getting absolutely scout classed. Finally, another soldier gonna be able to come in and take it over, but he'll just die instantly too, so I don't know, there's not a lot of momentum being found on second, but with the Uber finally coming up for dead, then it should still be found. And
yeah, the Russians have to respect this Uber this ad quite a bit here. They, numbers-wise, might have been able to do it. Health-wise, they could have fared worse after those bombs by the soldiers, but how are you going to cross that distance when you know they can just pop on you? They will have to play it safe, and they will do that just now.
Why do the Poles have a sniper with 50% ad? Do they realize they have 50% ad?
They probably just underestimated how big it was, and by the time they capped the point and were ready to go for a last push, they probably figured it's like 15, 20 maybe at best, and don't want to like risk running into like an even Uber last push here. So just, you know, small mistakes can be costly sometimes. It's not the end of the world, seeing us already up one, and at least they're stuck on last right now, so it could be much worse in that regard. But yeah, as you said, it's a little bit unfortunate. Hell, the sniper worked all last time, so as long as Elise and Nair can be put into good position once again, this might not be all too bad.
Yeah, and actually, Red have 2 sentries, both the normal one and a brass beast heavy, which, okay, I swear, I only ever see that in Australian games. Like, they love the brass beast for some reason.
I mean, it makes sense, right? You die slightly less, you deal a little bit more damage, you don't move much anyway, and if you're already not in the spawn door as a heavy, which on some maps you are, but on Snakewater not so much, it's understandable enough.
Yeah, at least I know just getting absolutely destroyed and trying to peek on left, but I don't know, just nothing much happening. SMD's on sniper, maybe able to try to peek him deep. Actually, no, we have a soldier just waddling on through drop, but there's no blue players in lobby other than the one lone soldier in lower, who is going to get just bombed on behind, somehow manages to trade despite getting hit by a rocket first. Okay. That's why you go in with a buff.
Yeah, well, not the end of the world just yet, one down each, so we'll probably stay here for a little while longer. And like I said before, this is much better for Ice Mob than for Deputies. You're comfortably on their opponent's last, they're in the lead already, they can take their time with plays right now, so having the sniper helps them a lot more. You have arguably better angles to work with as well. Sure, the sniper is safe and can snipe from spawn if they want to, but I mean, that's not going to get you much, so Light Years will have to peek deep to open up some opportunities for the sniper and try to distract from right, where sniper comes from left, not getting a kill though, just barely.
Yeah, at least they're not getting spammed out really hard here on the sniper, but just not being able to find much of anything for his team. As I say that, he just gets walked into by a soldier and dropped for no conceivable reason, really? Okay.
It happens.
It happens to the best of us. And now the sniper, after being down one, is going to again peek the same angle with the soldier. At least. At least it goes down, but they're gonna lose their sniper as well, so... or a soldier as well, so that's a little worse for red, but could see a sack attempted from blue.
Alright, let's see if they dare though. They
soldier straight in through drop, and he's gonna bomb into the brass beast heavy.
And snipe mid-air for 50 damage. That's enough damage in this case. You can already see though, this is what I was talking about, that these kind of teams for open level are like a lot more reserved, not like as chaotic as you would expect. Just taking it one step at a time here, which, fair enough, they are very much in position to do that just now, especially in Ice Mob. The Russians are a little bit more desperate to make something happen now. Still plenty time left, but something needs to happen here soon for them. They're trying to take lobby with the sniper, but have to deal with the one on the other side, obviously, as well. That one might take a lot of damage, but hits 2 pipes.
I don't think he saw the second one, so just a little bit of luck working out, but that's just how it is sometimes on Demo Man. Like, you just spam pipes and then you're like, oh, I gotta go. Okay.
Oh, they're popping through here to try to make finally some headway, but they use so early. Medic just gets caught in the blue with Uber, and that's so many people down and or weak, and not much more left alive at the end. Heavy is all they really have, and yes,
SMD somehow managed to salvage the medic there and the soldier
as well, but just way too much work to do for one single sniper. This is the powerful position that Ice Mob wanted to abuse here. Just have to make a mistake out of last, getting desperate, and doing that early in the game like this is just gonna extend the lead now really nicely for them.
Yeah, a little just unfortunate timing on the Uber will cost them absolutely everything, but I mean, it's only been 20 minutes, they're not out of it by any means. They got plenty of time to try and fix all of their, like, kind of just, well, it didn't really fix a lot, just small pacing issues, really, just one unfortunate mistake being punished, but again, this mid's pretty just standard, finally trying to getting there a little bit faster, but still a little slow.
Ooh, the Polish side gets like forced back really early, and that is a really good bomb there by Vrak, and that's gonna just put them all weak in the corner with no way out. SMD in the backlines, Raptor on perfect timing to get the kill. One last scout on mid, that on by Trandville. Really nice control by Deputies here. The Russians just running away with this one really nicely, and this time with that med kill as well, so they could maybe make a round for this one, and they really need to.
Yeah, this map can slow down quite a bit, so you don't want to be at a deficit for too long, but as you said, they have Cup second, and they're going to probably try to roll this to last, and yes, they are, just straight in through lower. Only the level 1 to really contest them. He's just been switched off on. But, I don't know, there's only really, like, that Scout Uber came in, there wasn't a lot of follow-up with it, but they're still going to find frags. Nice stickies from Trandville to find 2. That might have actually just kind of salvaged this push for them, but I don't know, the Pudis is on point. We've got a medic going for Ubersaz. Trandville is on 10 HP, just screaming probably. He almost actually got that.
Durden like awkwardly close range surf that into the Devil Man to get the saw as well. Worst case scenario, you just get them more advantage too. Very unfortunate last push there for Deputies. Close call, but they need to clean this one up. If the fully wet into last isn't good enough, what will be good enough, right? So you need to worry now, like, what do we have to improve here? And they have to find an answer quickly. They might have a chance to contest second for a play on the medic here. Let's see if they take their chances.
We have a scout just actually, well, it seemed like he was going to go for the back cap, but I think was found out and now is just awkwardly running around a cheese. They might actually let him escape, and yeah, no, they will. So, I don't know. Well, what was weird for me about that Uber is that there wasn't, only the Uber was in for a really long time, and then like his rest of his team showed up. So that was really kind of weird. But regardless, I mean, Trendwheel also like probably screaming for heals while his medic goes for saws.
Yeah, that's the bit going to Ice Mob just like that. The Russians escaping with their lives and now with an Uber in hand as well, so arguably worth it, but let's see what Polish side has to offer against that. And they just want to go deep, but the drop comes out, the medic caught off guard there.
That was such a scuffed bomb as well. Both soldiers tried to bomb out of window, only one made it. But, I mean, hey, it works out. And Red actually, yeah, wipe on second here. That's gotta be around, you think.
At this point, no one's up to spawn right now. They can just take their time, get people near the spawn doors, not let anyone out, and then just go cap once it's free.
Yeah.
And
I mean, if you
like
choke
that's what
this,
they're doing.
Yeah, all gonna get caught in the sticky trap. That's 3-0 up for the Poles.
Yeah, Ice Mob looking to be running away with this. I'm not sure if this was their map pick. I can fact check that very quickly. It has been. So they're looking good on the map. They felt confident in it. So that's good news for them here. 2 more rounds, if anything. But a lot more work for Deputies to do if they want to make this back.
Yes, indeed. And again, they have at least on the Russians, like, since the first round, just like cleaned up their mids a fair bit, but they're not able to convert rounds off of them, which is not a great sign for going forward for them. Whoop-Tang just gonna bomb and not get much of anything, and neither are the other soldiers, so again, another good mid for the Russians. This should be won by them, and they will keep their medic up, so I mean, they couldn't convert this off last time after they wiped on mid, so now that the medic stayed up, you don't think this is really a better situation for them?
Well, we'll see how this pans out for them. For now, Deputies can take all the space, Ice Mob has to fall back here, and I mean, as much as they're 3 down, it's at least going the right way for them still. From the midfight onward, they have to convert this one sooner or later. Have 16 minutes for 3 rounds, and an even Uber stalemate at hand to try to make this happen. Let's see if they can make the play though. We haven't spent too much time with Deputies being the ones putting their opponents on last, so we don't really know how they want to approach this. We've seen a lot of sniping, so I wouldn't be surprised to see more. Let's see if they have anything else in store though. For now, just trying to get anyone through lower and not lasting for too long there.
Yeah, 1-for-1 trade, I would imagine we see Wook come up on a sniper. Or maybe a spy, who knows, but I would be really surprised not to see that, given that especially he did manage to trade with SMD, but I don't know, just not seeing a whole ton of action right now as you would kind of expect, but they kind of do need to make this work pretty fast. They only have 15 minutes to make up this 3-round deficit, and Snakewater can get very slow, as I said earlier.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah. But they can't just like sit here as well. It's so easy to just try to have everything around the sniper, but at this point they have to try to work him in a bit. SMD is hitting these shots that are coming to him. If they just make him have some opportunities like this, this could be really good for them fairly fast.
Yeah, SMD did manage to get the one, and we'll see if he can get anything more. Like, he did only get the other sniper, so it's not too impactful, all things considered. Almost had a soldier offer himself up, but they're doing a really good job on Ice Mob just spamming this doorway. And actually, there's just a soldier in their face. Never even mind, he's not even subtle about it.
I mean, sometimes you just have to go for it, right?
Yeah, you really do. But I don't know, they get the longer. Oh, they lost their demo, man. That's very bad. Duel, I don't know how exactly it happened. You just wanted them to, but they're gonna respond by losing their demo on Ice Pump. So that's one way to do it. We're straight in off that. But Dardan hasn't had to yet. I don't really know what his plan is. But again, so much cap time. That's very unlucky for the Russians. They almost managed to cap that.
Alright, I resumed my scheduling nightmare. So all the other games later tonight are saved. In the meantime, like you said, a lot of things happened here that might get the Polish team out of last year. They're trying, but it's tough. They don't have Uber anymore. So it's so dangerous to commit to point, just still like low ground center of the point area here to just be bombed on. It's a little bit scary. They're not daring too much and just letting people close the distance again. Scout gets the kill. Everyone else trying to bomb through as well. Devilman caught as well. This is a mild disaster. They fell for the same trick they put the Russians into earlier. And it might just end just as bad.
It could, but I mean, we've seen the Russians kind of choke their last push before, so I mean, you hope that isn't the case. They have spawners in 3, so they can kind of stall for that, and they have. Again, there is just a scout on the point, though. They aren't doing too good a job of actually making sure the Russians can't get cap time. That's something we've seen in pretty much all their last pushes. But yeah, it looks like they will actually manage to hold it. Just solid positioning, really.
Yeah, once again, just barely getting away with these. The Russians just falling short on these last pushes. What, twice now? If they just converted these like seemingly good opportunities, this could have been a much different scoreline already. They do have the Uber still, though, so at least they got something out of this one if they can find an opportunity to quickly get back into second with rotating all the way to the Saw entrance, trying to get in here. And IceMob has to be aware of that, but they're getting so late out of this point.
Yeah, and I mean, again, not gonna really be punished for it. Actually, gonna come up with man advantage because of it. A soldier bombs into lower completely
both of them,
alone.
Actually. Like one by one after another.
Yeah, not both of them at the same time, mind you.
Oh, Grubs behind them. This is pure chaos now. This is like slowly but surely just becoming the open game you wanted, maybe, but not the open game these guys wanted. Because for the Russians, these opportunities are just not holding together right now. Rushing this through lower, the bombs in just way too early. With no reason to. They could play this slow, take the space slowly but surely with the advantage, and they decided to go deep, and they didn't need to. They didn't need the mad kill here. Instead, this will just fall all out of their hands, and now Durdan is the one with full advantage going from mid almost into second any moment here.
I was gonna say, like, I was kind of comparing this in my head to, we watched the RGL Newcomer Grand Finals just yesterday, and, like, it felt like, not a pug, necessarily, that was kind of discarding the teams a little too much, but, like, it was just pure chaos, and, like, I think we're getting towards that a little more now. Maybe some desperation from the Russians that this is becoming a progressively less winnable position for them. Nice little rocket onto Trundwheel there. Gonna lose their demo on the last hold again.
Well, it's at least a demo down each here, so, I mean, could be a lot worse. Either way, second point capped up, Uber advantage is obviously gone, so it's a little less of a worry for the Russian side. In fact, maybe they just want to push out here. It's what costed them around before, but at this point they definitely don't have any other choices left, I think, other than to just maybe try this and hope it works with the Uber out into second. If IceMob can't kite it, that's great for them. That's even more advantage going forward, so they will try to play their cards here.
Yeah, IceMob didn't take lobby at all, so it's a little easier for them to do that. Just gonna see a deep soldier bomb in, and actually the one straight back into lobby, but didn't manage to find Ulya. So Uber actually not even having to be popped, and they will, by the looks of things, take second, or at least take a lot of positioning on second. Never mind, as this push did come in through lower, and they've dropped Trundwheel without popping the Uber. That's a little bit of questionable positioning. All of blue, they're actually just running into lobby. They're gonna go to last.
Yeah,
There is a Putis, and he has the Brass Beast, and SMD is just fragging. Okay.
He's near against Knight as well. They just wanted to drag the back here and try to make the most of that play. If that caught the medic, that would have actually been amazing. Unfortunately, not the case. It obviously wasn't close really to the back cap here, especially with the heavy on last. So Deputy is getting away from it now. And one more bomb tries to get the market guard out of here, not getting close even, doesn't believe. Soto down pretty quickly. Are they any more contesting this? I don't think they are. So IceMob well out of here. They have 10 more minutes to play. No need to get too overzealous just yet. Played safe for just a bit longer to secure the scoreline at hand.
Yes, indeed. I mean, the Russians are going to try to contest mid. And they do have around, well, they do have around a 25% Uber ad. But, I mean, they weren't, I don't know how good of a job they're doing of counting Ubers, because they weren't aware of their, like, 50% ad. So, or no, was that IceMob? No, I don't remember.
It was a little less, but it was still very much usable if they were quick about it anyway.
Yeah. So, I don't know, maybe a little questionable, but they won't end up being able to use it in the end. Durdan gonna come up on his just now. Red's still gonna try to push him through Saw. We got scouts poking, soldiers bombing, as you do, but no real combo committing. With light DS going down, you'd think that would remain the case, and 1-2-I-3.
All in lower though with the combo, SMD
oh,
and
no, they're just
medic.
wiping.
trying to sneak about while people bomb in deep. They get the Uber so early, they actually use through and kill the Relic after their own Uber fades, but can they actually get out of here? It doesn't look like it. They're just completely surrounded. The Saws are coming out, they're not hitting. Trying to go for a funny idea there, but just isn't the answer here. It seems they just got themselves too surrounded. The players who are trying to go behind the Uber just got caught out by it early, and that's just too few players up by the time they use themselves to really salvage this. So Deputies very much on time crunch. Less than 3 minutes for a round here is what they need right now to bring this to a golden cap. More than that if they want to avoid even that. And I mean, they have to go for big plays right now, but it just puts you in a position where some of them just don't work.
I mean, that's how big plays are. It just sometimes won't ever work out for you. And they get a favorable trade here, 2 for 1, so can at least peak mid, try to roll this maybe, but it's not really enough of an advantage to get too much off of. But they have managed to force Ice Mob just into Saw here. Ice Mob knowing that they definitely don't want to like wipe on mid or something and give up a round where they don't need to.
Yeah, let's see. They again are on a time crunch here, so whatever they're doing here with this even Uber, it has to be quick. Last play obviously not so great for them. Let's see if this one's better. For now, the entry is looking a little more promising at least. People don't die immediately like on the flank last time, but still kind of stuck trying to get through Saw for now.
We have a soldier in Saw playing ammo mod against whoever's on pipe. I think that's who's that is Wuktang. And again, Lytius is just gonna bomb in, try to live his best roamer life, but just not doing much of anything at all. But I don't know, I mean, the Russians, they need to try and make something work here. Like, they don't really have time to just stand around on mid.
Yeah, most certainly. Something needs to happen here. Be it bombs, be it just an exchange through anything. There comes the bombs by Frag. The medic all alone gets some good damage, but doesn't
actually
get
did get the force.
Ooh, never mind. I didn't see that. I saw him backing off again. Tried to melee the Devilman. Didn't work, but the force is much better.
Yeah,
so roll with that, I guess.
Out. It doesn't matter what you're trying to do, it just matters that you got it.
Yeah.
SOD gonna... I think he just chipped a soldier as he was trying to jump out. That's a little unfortunate. But, I mean, they actually are gonna manage to take second off of this. It didn't look like they were going to, at least immediately, because they lost quite a few players to get the force, but I don't know, Ice Mob just kind of blundering a potential push out. It's not gonna matter, they've got the heavy, they've got the NG.
Well, let's see if that's enough to deal with the last push coming in Uber from the shutter door deep into the heavy, getting gun as well as card, getting cap time here as well, bombed by the soldier, not doing enough. Block again happening, Devilman is still here, that's a lot of damage on point if they happen to get it, and not looking too bad. Trendril standing on it against the stickies, but living for long enough with the beam on him.
Well, Russians will at least get one round, and they're still in this, as you said, 3 minutes per round. They're keeping their pace.
Yeah, that's the first one. Now you need 2 more. This is going to be difficult, and at least the last pushes are working now. That's a promising sign, even if it's still close calls here. 2 more of those will just be enough.
That's something I noticed is that Ice Mob, they're not doing a good job of denying this cap time on the last. Even the failed last push had like 1 tick of cap time remaining. So, again, we're just going to see nothing too uniquely on any of these bids. Trendril going to go down really soon to actually a bomb from Tuck, but again, just trading back and forth, 2 soldiers for a soldier demo, and that's mid, well, almost lost. I was gonna say for red, but they actually managed to pick up Durden somehow. That's
no way anyone should recommit them, but they do. They had no space whatsoever. They have to, right? They have to leave at this point, and it worked out this once.
It's like, do you think they were completely out in Saw? And then just decided to walk back through the door.
With a Devilman alive, mind you.
Yeah, I mean, it's fair, because, like, they can't really afford to lose this mid, but, like, it's so surprising. And we're actually just, despite that, gonna see NG straight out from Ice Bomb just went into. He's probably stalled this out on last.
Well, if there's any way for them to keep up this pace, this is how. Just somehow getting the mad kill after what looked like a failed mid. Suddenly they had to work with here. Just straight up 1 push here and puts them in a really good position to try to make it happen with 1 more good mid fight here. Let's see if they can do it early dead, blind dead onto Lytius. That helps quite a bit. Let's see if it's enough to save this.
I mean, I don't think it will matter too much because Lytius has died early on like every single last push, but they're just gonna cap it out. Every single person was alive on Ice Mob. Not one of them stood on the point. This is a situation where everyone is just shouting point, but no one actually goes to stand on it because everyone assumes someone else is going to stand on it. And you don't want to just stack and die?
I guess. Okay, all they need is 1 more good last push, and first of all, a good mid-win as well. Let's see if Deputies can keep this up, or Ice Mob can put themselves together and just bring this scoreline home.
Trento gonna get to mid a little bit later, but not gonna all too much. Oh, we got soldier caught in kitchen, and at least they're going. Both soldiers down for side by side, no one being lost. Although their health is very bad on the Russians, so that's gotta be the mid win now. 1-2Y gonna try to probably find a medic on the retreat, but not gonna find it. Not a big deal. Another soldier actually gonna pop in, also not gonna find him. Nice surf from Derdan to land on the other ramp. And they will try to hold second on this to put some space between the Russians and last.
Yeah, at least the Russians know the win condition. That medic cannot stay alive after the mid-fight. The fact that they are is a bit problematic. At least it's not this bad for them, but still, it's gonna make life a lot harder to try to bust through seconds. But it looks like they want to bust. The Scott's trying to lead in. No, that was just an attempt to maybe catch out the demo man. Doesn't believe in it too much though.
Yeah, I mean, got a surprising amount of space considering that the whole combo was there. They actually kind of feared, but they're not gonna find the kill, so with only 3 minutes, they did at least win their last round a little quicker, so they did have more time to win this one if they do want to take it to a golden cap. But every second is painful for them that they stall and saw, and they're just gonna pop straight through. And oh, this is no. Oh, I was surprised actually that the pulse pop at all. I would have thought they just milk it entirely, but actually, despite them popping, they're still gonna lose too. I was on the flank mostly, but there we go. There's the crunch back in, picking up
SMT on the medic. With the pistol gets the kill. The medic themselves get one on the near. Devilman caught off guard with no health in lower as well. They just forced themselves in there deep as they could here, despite losing players. They stayed in. They had to, and this could be it. It's gonna be tough on this fight with the heavy one of them.
They have time to wait for the Uber, but their guard's just gonna try and roll it. But losing. Oh no, the medic was in. I was gonna say I thought it was just those 2 players, but the medic was on top of point. I didn't see it.
Yeah, they have 2 minutes. They wanted it now instead of like later, safer. Yeah. Might just be a crucial mistake to make here. Now Derdan has big advantage on last. They have no big incentive to push out of 2 seconds here. They could probably just get away with holding this on last right now and trying to keep this one alive as much as possible. Let's see if they do that or if they want to dare. And it looks like they want to dare go to second.
Yeah, I mean, they left. It's not like they didn't take the risk. They just left a Putis standing on point, so not like they didn't know what they were doing. 140. The Russians can still try to push this, and they do have the crits on Ulya to accelerate the process, but it's gonna be really hard. We actually have Heavy pushing out onto second. You love to see it.
Even with the crits though, they're not quite close enough to make it a crits ad. It's just purely about surprise factor right now, and this surprise factor has to just melt the medic or anything useful like
it's actually the soldier, not the demo in, but nah, Derdan has the reflexes. He right-clicked in a heartbeat, and the crits is not gonna find anything. But they did still find 2 kills,
though,
not
behind.
in the crit.
SMT. All the way in lobby.
Jesus. There's still a Heavy in taking bats, actually. I don't know how he hasn't been punished at all.
The medic dies. Nuclear one just feeds all the way deep here. Well, they're stuck in front of the Heavy. They can't go anywhere. And suddenly it's just a scout behind them. This is such a heartbreaker for them. They have 40 seconds to make a dry push happen, but at that point the gun is up. The Heavy is still there at this point with 450 health, and it's just going to be really, really tough for them. This is their only chance though.
They got the pulse down to like 2 players, but just they weren't able to clean up the frags, and they ended up just sort of feeding for them. And that could have been a last push converted, but as you said, yeah, they have to make the dry push happen. There's 20 seconds left in the round. They have to go literally now. They managed to find early soldier pick, and the Sakon was only level 1, so that's going to go down. But again, the Heavy is just so fearful, and yeah, that's probably going to put an end to things.
Yeah, Iceball just putting up enough to get away with this. Nice kill there by the medic, but that will be about it.
Can he do it?
1 against
no, he can't.
5. Big surprise. Yeah, Iceball, really strong start. Looked a lot more scared to fight this later on. Deputy's really waking up. He's still enough to make it through for the last bit of the game here. But that's not going to bode well for the next map, I think.
Well, I mean, you said that the next map is the pick of the Russians, so kind of waking up at the end of that, it would seem to say good things about what might happen on their map, which is Gully and not Process.
Yes, Gullywash should be map coming up here for the second map.
Yeah, so, I mean, Gullywash is a fairly slower map, so we could see that, but we do have some logs in the meantime. Nothing too surprising. Chandwil getting kind of, well, just outperformed by Münzner. Assuming that is how you say that. I probably butchered all their names.
Yeah, just the amount of deaths difference is really like the big one here. Everything else aside, like the damage is fairly close if you consider the fact that he died 9 times more. That is like so
Yeah.
much more time spent not playing the game, unfortunately. Uh, it's strange. I feel like I don't know if this was not a 3-0 by as early in the game as it was. This might have been a much different story for the Russians because by the end they just had to rush a lot more things and had to play a lot more reckless. I don't think they really wanted to, especially with how the pace of the game was early on. They just wanted to take the time on things. For what it's worth, at least the mid fights were fairly good for them here. The first one was good by Icemore, but after that they've just been able to be running away with them.
Yeah, it goes to show that this game, or the scoreline was actually so bad for the Russians, given that they won so many mids.
Yeah, especially
But
considering that.
it's at least an interesting game towards the end. That's all we can really ask for. And also SMD, just kind of pounding.
Yeah, just like a really strong flank scout that opens things up for the team is exactly what you want to just like start making plays out of nowhere, and then the rest of the team just can clean up from there.
Yeah.
A lot of teams like to play with that sort of flank scout for them, and for a good reason. If you have a guy that can just shoot stuff and dodge fairly well as well, he gets there, he shoots things, and then you just clean up forward really, really nicely done. It almost got them the final round, just suddenly disappearing and then being behind the medic all of the sudden. Brought them really close to success here, but needed that bit more. Gullywash certainly can have those moments, so wouldn't count that out as a factor just yet.
Yeah. And we do have medic stats on stream as well. Nothing too surprising here. Actually, SMD getting 28%, but that's pretty surprising. Actually, Chad Duil only got 20. That's a little surprising for a demo man, even on Snake. And just the only difference being one drop from Ouya, but despite losing, actually getting one more Uber.
That was such a sad drop too.
It really was. It's just I didn't even realize it happened for like a while.
Yeah, it's just gonna happen. I thought they would just react, but too slow to realize, and then at that point it's too late, and that's basically around at that point if it happens on their way out on second. Tougher to like, try to even recover from unless you just kill everything possible instantly.
Yeah, but we're not on Snakewater anymore. We are going into Gullywash, and Gullywash. I mean, it's always a very different map. I mean, there's gonna be a lot more pressure, I think, on the demo men here. Both Münster and Chandwil gonna have to really flex their muscles. It is, especially at this level, like just the demo diff map, really.
Yeah, and if last map has anything to go by, Ice Mob trust Münster a lot more on the heels, so that could be a big difference unless Deputies massively changes this up or towards lower levels. Unreasonable to really assume that they change like that much on how they play as a team between maps, but sometimes you still see it. And as much as these are fairly newcomers, they're not like completely inexperienced. A lot of them, I think, on both teams here, have played in the Highlander Open this year, where you had to like meet certain requirements in terms of how new player you are to actually play in it. And a lot of them played here Nuclear and Legionnaire were one of the Polish teams. Maybe some of them as well. Other than that, I don't remember exactly. That's the two names they sent out for me on the Russian side as well. I'm pretty sure Tranwell was on one of these. I think SMD like this too. I'm not sure. So like a lot of them had like maybe not like a ton of experience. Obviously it's open, no one has for the most part. But for how little they have, they had success already. And that goes quite a distance. I guess it helps when you have like the one guy with a little bit of experience. In this case, I guess Weismop, it's Durdan, who's maybe not been around for a long while, but a tad bit longer than them, has played like a good low season once on Scout, now playing Predicate, obviously, for to just mentor his boys, and working so far.
Yeah. Actually, I'm a little curious. Do you guys have something like, I know in NA we have like the newbie mixes team drive, where like you kind of pair teams with coaches and then they like play newcomer or amateur?
Something similar, yeah. Less so mixes. I guess it's not really mixes for you either, but yeah, like every once in a while, ETF2L makes fresh meat competition where you also have to meet certain requirements of how new you are as a player, and at most you can have like an experienced medic for you.
Yeah,
I believe it is, and yeah, that was last year, I think, where a number of like people that are still around came from and made an impact.
Yeah, always good to see these newer players coming through. They are the players of tomorrow. Who knows? There could be the next Cadus in this server right now. Cadus picked completely at random. I don't know if anyone here looks that good.
Well, in this case, pick a Polish or Russian player, I guess, the next, I don't know.
Yeah. Shock.
Sure.
This is the first Russian player I could think of in Prem. Honestly, I'm probably just horribly ignorant.
At the moment, Prem isn't very Russian. Div 1 a little bit more. Div 2 has one full Russian team and a couple ones here and there. Mid had like 4 Russian teams, and they did better than expected. Honestly, I had like not as much confidence in Russian teams this season mid as some of the other seasons, but like half of them did like a lot better than I thought they did. So hey, it's going upwards for even the names that I don't have too much knowledge of. And that's a good sign overall when like the people that haven't done so well in the past and they just don't really have their names in my system here suddenly start actually making plays. That's just a good sign overall, I think.
Well, we always want to see big plays. We want to see an entertaining game. And we are going to be seeing now the first mid on Gullywash. It's the second map. Russians, they need to win this one, but it is their pick. So you'd like to think that they have something up their sleeve, or at least are confident. So we're heading into this first mid. Again, nothing like weird coming out. There's no like super ballsy plays or anything like that. WooTang just gonna go down to spam, had a bit of a missed bomb, and yeah, just off that, gotta find frags on the Russian side. Only Dardan up, and he's being chased very aggressively. Again, good mid from the Russians, but can they convert it?
Yeah, that's a whole different story, and like you said, they will have to convert this on their own map pick here. They did win it in the regular season, even if just barely 4-3. Very slow game for the scoreline anyway. It was at the time. That was like the only match of them I have watched at that point. I watched some of the playoffs games since, so let's see how things might have changed here. For now, obviously, strong mid-fight helps quite a bit, but that's only a small sample size to go off. And with the automatic going down, it's going to be hard to do something quick, but it's still going to be last. You have a lot of options. So many entrances into last, plus the one sneaking up on point as well through river as an option to just distract people with and try to make a play with. So you can create a lot of chaos if you want to. For now, however, the only one eating any of that is Trandwell, trying to bait people into the trap and just being blown up himself.
Unfortunate. As we did have Ulya go down on mid as well, so it is even Ubers, and in response to that, WooTang has that conch. Well, I say has, he might have almost died actually. Still almost did, but just scouts peeking all the way into last to try and punish. And Krupsoon actually, again, they're just eating Rapus and he actually bleeds! Oh, that's so sad. He actually, yeah, we're seeing just Rapus balls being flung at all of these blue players. Nearly had like 2 different people die to them, and actually, well, did find a success on one. They're just gonna push off that. Uber straight into the river, not gonna find the sentry, but they're playing point again.
They just get again. They discovered Icemob's biggest weakness. It is just trying to not bother with point and try to make these Ubers as much as possible. And despite dropping the Devilman, trying to get the gun and the gun never dying, it's just enough.
That should not have worked. Oh my god. Okay, Icemob, they need to figure out what's gonna happen to that. I thought they would have sorted it out between maps, but they still don't know who's supposed to just go on point and stop it. And it ends up just being nobody. Real high bum here from Icemob Soldier. They did get completely denied. Just no one finding any sort of impact on mid. Finally, us are gonna go down just after getting completely skyboxed there. And we do have a soldier in behind on second. That was WooTang through big door, trying to find retreating players perhaps, but again, the soldier combo of Icemob going down really early on mids while the Russians preserve theirs, so that's gotta be a mid one. Another Rap Assassin bleed kill for, I'm not even gonna try and pronounce that.
I feel like at this point they'd rather be on Badwater where the ball just doesn't work.
Yeah. Well, they're on Gully second now where the ball actually doesn't work, so...
Oh, really? Wow, I didn't know that.
Well, yeah, it's the ramp onto second is one of the things that eats it, so...
okay.
Yeah. Just gonna trade soldiers and actually trade Ubers as well. Ulya is Ubering his soldier and he just leaves. Like, just the medic's just standing there wondering what happened. I don't know what's going on anymore. And somehow after winning mid, they try to roll second, bleed 2. Actually 3 players going in, so... Just an unfortunate
so many down as Evil got used already, and then no one wanted to fight it, as he said. Scout just in there though, gets the Devil Man. Münster trying to lock down Victor and just is the one being gotten instead. Balls to the wall, they want to go in here and leading this one straight in from Victor. Again, it seems people try to respect it a little bit here, but no one's really committing. Everyone was like standing there in Victor trying to commit, but no one really did in the end.
Yeah, just really aggressive posturing being made from Red, despite the fact that they're not really doing anything with it. They have such a slight ad, but it doesn't really matter. It's only about 10%. So they actually managed to just force their way through choke with no picks, just off of pure like spam. SMD went very low trying to chase that team through choke, but that's a really good play from the Russians.
We'll see how much it can get them here. For now, the answer is likely not much, unfortunately, for them. It's an even Uber standmate by the looks of things here. Doesn't mean they need to stop doing anything at all, or they can still try to force their way with like bumps in, maybe try to sneak someone behind for lobby. You have your options. Let's see how much they're daring about that though.
Well, they got it's another even Uber conch, so that's always interesting to see. Again, Wookting almost dying to try and charge it. They're actually just going to use it straight away. I'm assuming he's holding. Yeah, he is holding it. That's... I don't know why he's done that, but okay.
I mean, now they know it's there. They don't know when it's going to be used, though. That's the mind game factor, I assume. Just waiting for your own good opportunity here. The moment they get something going, they can just go the whole distance, I think.
The sound will scare them.
The bad boy.
They're having an Uber exchange, so I mean, hey, that's when you want the conch. The super's gonna fade, and they're gonna have the banner. And actually, I just come up straight away. SMD goes down the tail end of that, and so does Lightgears. So you got to think that is mid back the way of the pole. No players in behind. Trendwheel goes down, and yeah, that's just everyone. And the scout and the medic have to escape with their lives. 1T was caught in.
Okay, if you look at the health of the players on Ice Mob, you can see on like a physical level that banner did nothing. They clearly would have lived anyway. However, it clearly by Deputy Sphere, they didn't really want to fight this, so no one like blocked off choke anymore. They were already half out, like thinking about not fighting this at all, and they just got in for so free compared to what actually should be the case here for Ice Mob and just walked over them.
Yeah, they really did, but I mean, they can for the first time actually in this game, the Russians are at an advantage, so they aren't like in the position they were where they have to kind of fear and like speed up and try to push out. They can just hold this last standard. They don't have a sentry, but they do have a sentry in the heavy. So Uber Exchange is going to come in and yeah, they're just going to pop onto that Brass Beast heavy on... Again, I don't know who their actual name is. I don't know if you have them in your system, but...
Which player?
The other scout that isn't SMD, who's on heavy right now.
If it's a very long string of like letters, then that's just a name.
Okay.
So,
well,
you know, it happens.
SMD was on Spy. I actually didn't catch that, but he died in Big Door.
If anyone knows what that says, if you're like friends with them or anything, please let us know. Because I've been avoiding trying to say that name like for like 3 games now.
Yeah. I just... Like, there's just... It's not even Cyrillic characters, which I kind of expected, but like... I don't know. They are gonna actually get the heavy with the sniper again. I think we saw that on Snake as well. And Ulia is actually...
Just farms him from behind.
Oh my god. Okay, Latias, it feels like has been really shut down a lot of these games, but he finally managed to kind of get a big play, and actually, it's really big that the medic does go down, because Ulia wasn't healing for so long that he actually almost had a 30 dis ad.
What? This more than makes up for that now.
Yeah,
no,
I mean, it's not gonna matter. Just get frags. The Ubers don't matter.
Much like just capital point.
Cap point forehead.
They're just objective-focused gamers. You love to see it. And that's one more objective cap here and 2 more to go for this round. And already one obviously on the board makes us even better right now. Puts Ice Mob in such a bad position, having to deal with this Uber disad. And they don't really want to give up the second point. They don't want to be stuck on last. But what are they going to do about it really, besides like a sack somewhere?
Social Choke tried to get a scout killed, blew 2 sticks directly into him. Didn't dead, but that would have been a funny clip if he did. And yeah, again, Elysian actually goes down really late. Was he stuck behind? I didn't check.
Yeah, he was all the way in choke somewhere. Nowhere to go really, especially if you're that low, the pack isn't anymore. You just have to take a fight and pray sometimes.
Yeah, well, he didn't pray to the right gods, maybe. And, well, they are going to push in last. It's even Uber. Again, just Uber on the heavy. They've dropped down onto point. This is revolutionary for Ice Mob. They have a heavy on the point. They cannot be capped on. Well, I say that, actually, Scout is just pounding. Oh my lord. Okay, never mind.
One arrow on top of that. You just finish off the round. Really good job by the Scouts and the medic for that matter as well.
Oh my god. Okay. So, what an explosive way to end that round. And it's now 2-0 up for the Russians. And, they're looking like they want to take this to a 3rd map.
Yeah, you don't want to go out without a fight here. And for now, they are putting up a fight like I've ever seen one, so 2-0 lead early on helps quite a bit. Let's see if they can extend it off. Ice Mob can wake up now. It's their time to take a leap here and take a chance. Now to drop the play, get something at least. 2 down early is quite good, and the rest of them don't want to dare fight this too much, but they're weak. Elysian tries to get through, doesn't hit the best jump there. Doesn't matter, second time around is the charm, medic stuck before Shutter, nowhere to go. Big mid-win for Ice Mob here. Yeah,
Med died so late as well. He's on that late spawn wave with Light Diaz. And actually, we have a soldier in on mid. He went behind and stopped the cap and is just stalling them so much right now. That's actually a really good play from 1-2i. And didn't manage to find a medic frag, unfortunately. SMD! He's just gonna walk through, get 2!
They took so much time with the soldier, they just didn't see the scout coming anymore.
Oh my god. Okay, SMD. Again, just making so many plays for his team. Managing to get the cap on mid. That has literally saved that round, because they could have just lost off that mid. With the mid dying so
easily.
late.
They could have just immediately lost that round in a matter of like less than a minute at that point. If they weren't careful. Eliznia still trying to believe in a bomb, not getting through the wall of Russians in front of him in a big door. Gets denied, so I still have to give up the point here in the end, but hey, it's much better than the alternative.
Yeah, and they actually still do have a slight ad despite losing Julia, but again, I don't think anyone's going to be pushing off of like 10% at this point. But yeah, actually, no, they're going to seat second off of that as well. That's a little surprising. They're only just kind of holding it vaguely in upper, but yeah, actually going to go all the way out now. Might actually get caught, but Elysianaire managing to live.
This is like the opposite of what happened last map, basically. That currently it's just deputies playing the game and IceMob has to deal with it. Question is if they will find their wake-up call in a few minutes, because at this point they really need one.
Yeah, they really do, and well, I don't know, they can just sort of park it for now. They've got the heavy. I mean, it's still 19 minutes, so it's not like they're particularly urgent. But, I don't know, Light Diaz, he went in on the sack. Other soldier gonna go in and die. It's just classic play, really. Soldiers are all dying, as you love to see, in the year 2020.
Well, let's see, the deputies have plenty of time to do something here. To find something to play off, and for now, clearly point play has been scary, and with Gully being the way it is, that's a scary prospect one way or another already if you just play well of a sneaky guy in a lower.
What I actually would maybe like to see is them just move their demo behind point and then Lifehouse Soldier play in water. Like, because, I mean, all these caps, like that round where you had the whole cap time and just sort of capped out the point for red, they literally didn't have anyone even in water. Okay, I said that. I'll stop talking about that because they have an Uber exchange in lobby that has found a demo man and only a soldier on blue, so favorable exchange, especially with the sniper still up on SMD. So the Poles could theoretically push on this. Do you have a soldier just fighting a demo man? That's unfortunate for him. Decided to leave Launchpad for some reason, despite his whole team being elsewhere. And we'll pay the price.
Whatever it takes sometimes, I guess. Yeah, busting through frag, hitting so much damage on them though.
1TY literally just stalled that whole push out. Because, like, they should have, like, pushed all the way out into second there, and instead they're actually getting pushed all the way back to last on the Poles. But they do have to kind of win this push on the Russians right now, and they will. Okay.
Just busting through all the way.
Yeah, the dry push in with Uber Dissad, but I mean, hey, that doesn't matter until anyone actually has, so. Well played from the Russians, and now going 0-3 up, this is a lot more dire for the Poles.
Yeah, this is where the wake-up call needs to happen. This is the position in the game where deputies last map were waking up. Question is if them waking up is just the end of the series at this point, or if IceMob can do something about it now. They desperately need one. The mid-fight was bad last time, but they still had to give it up at the end.
Yeah, I mean, just heroics from S&D again, but we're just going to trade players straight away, 2 for 2, but one of those players is Darden, and 1TY is just nuking them. Okay, he actually must pitch up 3. That is just... In the last couple of rounds, he's just made some amazing plays for his team. And
it feels like every few minutes, one of them just has an amazing play.
Yeah. We're not seeing, like, on Snakewater, where it was really only S&D making plays. Now we've seen, 1TY, we've seen Light Diaz. They're all really finding their flow of this game.
It's nice to see for a change that people pick maps actually good on. At least compared to the opponents.
What do you mean?
Rare sight in TF2. Usually what ends up happening is the other team deliberately didn't ban the map because they're also fine with it. Yeah. And then also actually are really good on it, and if the better team does that, then they're just gonna win. For now, push from under, it seems to be dropping a scout early, SMD down.
Oh my god, the Uber actually through water. I haven't seen that in a while. And
well, normally it's the Pyro on the Uber, not against it here.
Yeah, I mean the Pyro, with being in the standard position to like block the Uber, obviously didn't expect it to come through water and will die trying to stuff the remainder of it. But I don't know, with the Pudish dropping down, they're not probably gonna find it worse. And now The problem with the Uber is, yeah, you get caught trying to retreat through river if you don't find it.
The problem with the Uber is that they don't have any anymore. While Jordan has all of it. And that's gonna make this a lot harder. They're trying to just keep them on last though. They're trying to at least do something into the last point here. Scout in, soldier in. Demoman still under, really not doing much, but just taking attention away. And that's gonna get them at least stucky for a little bit longer.
Yeah, I don't know. Just a demo man actually still in, surprisingly. I don't know what he's trying to do, but he's not getting killed by a scout. Okay. Oh, Dada drops the light, yes! He just bumped straight in on second.
Well, you want to see more of the guy, there you go. I think Dada had seen enough though.
Oh man, I was saying, like, I was surprised earlier, like, he didn't get caught up by the crits, he was playing really well. He didn't get the drop there, so I don't know. And Ouya gonna get a flag onto the scout, so this is probably gonna be actually a roll to last for the Russians, you'd imagine.
You just need to bow down the heavy here, and then that's basically run over, and at this point they're taking just free time with that, but they haven't kept them in the meantime. Scout just dodges all the stickies, so no one else gets there in time, well positioned by the Scout.
That's a little... You had a demo in water that whole time, but he just wasn't doing anything. I don't know.
Maybe like hard committed to a trap for the river as well, and not so much for the traps on point. Expected the rest of the team to do that, but the heavy couldn't. Everyone else just like stood in front of him, and as much as none of them died on either side, the heavy just couldn't block the cap either.
Well, regardless, this is now crunch time for Ice Mob. Half the map left, and they need to make up this 4-round deficit. It needs to start right now. A good frag from groups onto the roamer, but gonna be trading back and forth, favoring the Poles by 1, and feeding a 3rd and 4th for the Russians. You have to manage this. There's only Ouya up. He's getting saws, and he's still alive. Why? Okay, that's actually worse in a way, because he's on late spawn wave.
Yeah, that's not exactly helpful. It's the same on his turn roll, so it's like not the worst thing ever, but it's still a late spawn wave either way. Even if not the worst case scenario here, so not exactly a great one for deputies here. Still, they're on match point right now. We've seen positions like this so much, right, where teams just like unbeatably up, in this case match point even. It's possible for Ice Mob, but how likely is it?
Well, they popped Uber straight through Shutter and have not found a single frag with it. Finally gonna find the roamer and the heavy. SMD was on Spy. I did not... Why he's on Spy holding last at this end? This is some theory. But I don't know.
Wait,
Ice Mob, they're up, but they can't play the point. I mean, it worked.
Oh, the kid's coming up for the medics.
Oh,
and Durden's the last man standing and capping the point, running. Then and there in the basically Uber chain it was there with the sauce just coming out.
Yeah. I mean, hey, he did what he needed to do for his team, just capping out the point. So
Durden was the real Spy here, backstabbing the medics.
He really was. I think we saw that on Snakewater as well, but we didn't really call it out because I think they lost the round. But the SMD Spy on last holds is an interesting play to say the least. But regardless of that, it's another mid. The Russians need to keep this momentum, or the Poles, I'm sorry, need to keep this momentum going if they want to have a shot at this map. But now this mid gets a lot worse than the last one, losing their soldier early. No trades found, finally, but never mind, Ouya goes down. And Elysian are going to find another one. So, Dardan actually, oh, they did manage to find Dardan. SMD again, just making massive plays. Chasing this demo all the way to river. Not actually going to find it. And it's just a soldier left in on mid. Gibson's going to finally die. That was a chaotic mid and a half.
Yeah, it's a win in the end for deputies. It's one with a fat asterisk. Being both bets died here, so no one can really go anywhere just yet.
Dardan's on crits.
Interesting. Okay, that's the time to use it, I suppose. Last time the deputies tried it, the Russian side here, tried to use crits. It was just much too late to make up for the Uber difference, but this is dead even now with the crits coming up. And already the Russians tried to not let them really sit on second here, not getting away with it or spawns fast enough to say no to that.
Yeah, well, it worked out for them once, but I don't think it's going to work out this time. And, okay, there's a crits and Moonstar's on Quickie Bomb. This could be interesting. I don't know if they're going to actually crits demo, man. Maybe because you see a soldier crits. But, I mean, with the Russians seeding mid here, they're going to have Uber by the time this crits actually comes out. So, you're going to wonder how Ice Mob are going to play this. They're rolling straight through Big Door right now. And they have used the crits, but I only got to find one with it. It was Light Diaz right before the demo did, I think, go down. But they are going to find Trend Duel as well with the Flash Soldier crits. So, this is pretty good, all things considered. And Ouya goes down after the Uber. So, actually, not a very good hold from the Russians. That is going to probably be second to Ice Mob, you'd imagine. Just some last players poking around.
So some work still has to be done here. SMD going down finally. Scout, I think, still around all the way on mid, actually. They should know about that. Had to fight someone to get there, but for now, not an immediate threat anyway. So they are capping up this point. They still have some work cut out for them. 3 rounds in 10.5 minutes is still not pretty, even if it's less, more time to work with the deputies had on the last map.
Yeah, I mean, they showed it can be close. And that scout behind is actually just going to start the cap. It's going to delay them even more. And we'll go down for it. Not gonna... No heroics here. The crit streak is up. It has a much larger ad than it did last time. So hopefully, for the polls, you're going to see this crits just come in and actually do something. But it's getting absolutely stuffed. A crit roller found SMD, but other than that, it's going to find absolutely nothing. And Ice Mob, they're just all dying on this push-in.
Yeah, it goes to show that sometimes against crits, the best defense is just offense. Just kill them before they can do anything. They're not invincible, like they maybe should be in that situation, so just beat them to the punch. He works for now. Soda down late. That's the last one that was really on the last point here. Medic not getting out, or gets the pack, but it just extends the life. Doda realizes no point in trying. Hits the kill line. Scout in there to help, but even then outnumbered 3-1.
I didn't see how Doda went down there, but he did.
Yeah, just in lobby, just getting out too late and got caught up by everybody.
Yeah, unfortunate, really. And at least they're just bleeding players on Ice Bomb. Oh my god, the quickie trap! It finds both the scouts, but I mean, that's not even really gonna stop the roll. They did manage to get that up on Uber now, so maybe that'll help them in the future, but for now, at least, they're full disad, so... Actually, Frag's going back the way of Ice Mob. I mean, this is gonna be probably a second push from them out of what was disastrous. Somehow. I don't really know what's going on. There's a demo man behind.
Oh no.
He finds Dead and does Trandwell. He's gonna sandwich them with the Uber. That's actually a theory. You just put your demo behind so they can't retreat from your Uber.
You just somehow get him behind first step.
Yeah, just put the demo behind. Another quickie bomb double kill from Munster.
This guy was in there though to kill people. They're not waiting for a trap. And the second one is actually waiting there to trap them. With Soto just waiting on the high ground there. You have above choke and drops down to get the kills. And suddenly they're just all keen to fight this, and for good reason. They're just mowing them down on the Russian side.
Yeah, neither of these mechs having a good time right now, but it is gonna be Ice Mob coming up on top. You have to think. You have to think. There's only 2 players. There we go. So they will finally actually get second off of a fight there. And probably gonna be a last push. They do have a pretty significant Uber ad, almost 40%. So you think, yeah, NG is going up on last. They're not gonna push this out.
No reason to, even, for that matter.
Well, there isn't, but with how this game's been going, at least on this map, I wouldn't have been surprised to see it.
I guess, either way.
Groups are gonna just kind of feed. I mean, it doesn't matter because they don't have Uber yet, so it's not like it's gonna affect the push. Munster actually goes down in the back, so that could be something. Trading 2 for 2, but one of those is the demo man. But I don't think...
The medic's dead there and trying to go under the point. That could be interesting if they actually commit to that.
He was almost up, so
they can go with this.
They do have sticks there, and the demo is playing in lower, but not with a soldier like you would normally see. So Trando is just going to get absolutely mulched. And so is everyone dropping onto the point. Only the Pyro is still left alive. This is looking like a second round 2 Ice Mob, and it is. That's really questionable, because when you play your demo down in water like you do, you need a soldier to be in water. So he can't just die like that, or at least you have an early warning if the Uber's gonna come like that.
Yeah, so... there was just no way for the demo to know that. Just gets walked over by that beam, and quickly thereafter everyone else trying to save the point from getting capped, and that's just unfortunately not how it goes. 6 minutes, 2 rounds, very much doable. Deputies need to be careful now.
Yeah, but if they can just stall this if they want to, and well, they might not even need to. They gotta pick on early on this mid. Early favor to them. Soldier Bomb not going to accomplish much of anything else. They're going to go down as well. The health is so bad on blue as well. You have to think this is mid to the Russians. And yeah, no, that'll cement it.
They barely even need to commit over the point as well. They're just sitting back, spamming, and it's still most down 4 people. And SMD all the way behind already for the medic. Gets the kill onto Durden. So they're just not there in time to save that. And that's going to be all the momentum to the Russian side to just extend the lead and sit pretty here.
Yeah, I was a little... Okay, I mean, you understand why they want to sit back in this mid, because the Russians are just thinking, like, we've already basically won this mid. The soldiers might try to bomb for, like, Ilya, and, well, they're just playing to deny that and manage to get all the kills anyway, so... Hey. But Ice Mob, they're gonna be holding on last. I'm sure they don't want to be, because they want to be winning rounds right now, but they got the NG and the Heavy, so they're not going anywhere fast.
Yeah, just sitting tight, trying to hold on to this round against this Uber here. That's the only choice they have. They have to lift this one for now. Heavy just gets focused down by the scouts, sticks on point, blown up early.
The Sentry's still alive, so that's not too great, but again, the Russians are just playing point.
That's all they're here for.
Yeah, they popped the Uber in for the river, but they ran like 2 or 3 players in through water, and were able to, despite not killing the Sentry, just secure the cap because it's just by the spawn door.
They know their win con, and they know how to execute this one. Free lead once again for the PTs here. They just need a little bit more time to call this one a W.
They do, and if they win it, we will be going to a 3rd map. I believe it is Product.
Yeah, it should be. Either way, Polish side already desperately trying to get in deep their enemy side, attempt on the mid-fight, getting a lot of damage, not the kills quite yet. Eventually the soldier will fall. Demoman with that as well. They've taken the space, they still have to fend off the scouts on the high ground. SMB still around, dodges all of those rockets, but cannot stay in deep on that.
Yeah, he's just gonna have to get out with the end. Ultimately, the medic lives. That's still good enough for the Russians because they're gonna have the super for last. And well, I'd say that like it's winnable at this point, but I don't know. They can salvage their self-esteem.
I mean, it's like another matter of doable, but how likely, right?
It's like, yeah, it's doable if you just have bots on one team and just cap points, but they're actually going to put the super straight in, try to capitalize on their slight ad, but Daredon got out through super early, so not going to manage to find him, and that was all they really cared about. And actually, the Raptors just going to come in through Pig Door. This could be really interesting. We have a lot of players not yet up in River. And Uber finally will come out. It looks like they're just going to try to run last while it's only the medic there to defend. This should probably be around. They finally got the spawner come up on Heavy. She just dropped down and just got absolutely nuked, so it's a 3rd round for Ice Mob. Are we going to see a complete crumble? It could happen.
It's seen crazier things, so...
I don't think it will happen, but...
This is just about doable though, like a fast, realistic round is like a minute 20. So they have very much the time for that. It just needs to be 2 good like mid-fights here in a row and just clean it to last. Not easy to say that, but doable, sure. They need to believe that's the only hope to just end this in 2 maps.
Well, take it from the professional speedrunner, it is doable. And, well, the Russians are getting absolutely nuked on this mid, so it just might be. And, only trying to do a lot. Maybe we're going to try to set a cheeky trap to delay, but Soldier already into the big door, going to kill him very, very late. They're not capping 2nd. I'm assuming a scout's going to do that. Yeah, there he will. They're just going to try to get in on last, try to just stuff these spawns, but will they be successful in doing so? They have a Heavy out, but he's going to clean up very soon, only getting 1 pick. He got the med, never mind. I didn't catch that was... Oh yeah. I don't know, this is still potentially doable for Blue. They're going to walk in with this Uber not quite being up, and was trying to going down, yeah. No chance for
a 98.
Oh no, okay. This could be pretty bad. I don't know. It's only curtains now. That's curtains. That's so unfortunate. They had such a good position to potentially make that happen, but just kind of threw it.
It's just the like crux of those situations is that you're so desperate to try to get this play going that you just like don't really think about the time because it's just so little. You just try everything you can, but they could have easily spared like 10 seconds there easily to try to just make it that bit better, but you don't think about these kind of things, and especially low levels when you just don't have that much experience. You just want to get it done with as quickly as you can.
Spy cap? I don't think he's going to get it, given that the whole team was on last. I mean, he's going to go for it. Actually, that was way too much cap time for a 1x.
Scouts on the back up to the other side on 2nd.
They got the 2nd cap.
That just saved it. I said like a minute 20 is like a realistic fast round. They had the time for that if that worked here, but Scout on the other backup saves this one once again.
That's so close. That spy on the Looser got way too much though. Like that is just unacceptable. But 1 minute now. This has to be garbage time. Their time just goes down to the pipes. And yeah, nah. All of Ice Mob are just gonna feed for last there. Try and get something, anything at all. It's not gonna happen.
Why didn't we just watch the same map twice, but with inverted colors?
That's true.
Just one team runs away earlier and then just has to cling on to these rounds late. Sure, one round bigger lead at the end for deputies, but only just barely as well for that matter.
Yeah.
So very similar stories here between these two maps. If you missed the first one, you basically just seen it just swap the teams around, and it's the same idea. Really close maps overall, though, even if one gets the early lead, fact of the matter. So these early leads matter so much for them, these early leads. They cannot afford that too much on product. And product being a whole different dynamic actually will throw things for a loop anyway.
It'll be interesting to see how the DM fares, because it could just be absolute chaos if what we've been seeing in this game is anything to go by. And by that I don't mean what we're seeing right now, this is just garbage time. But I mean, product, it's an interesting map to see because it's so different than any of the other maps that we will typically see. So like, it's hard to say what it's really gonna look like. It'll kind of just come down to who has the better DM on the day, I want to say.
I mean, there's still, obviously, and it's like just very glanced over a lot as well by both players and commentators alike, that it's just like, obviously the DMer, but there still goes intricacies into it about how you want to play it on a strategic level. Sure, it's like a lot more fast-paced, and a lot of it, there can be like muscled over with DM for sure. But if you just play it smarter, you can get a lot out of it as well. You just definitely need the DM to back that up more often than not. So, as much as that's obviously important, yeah.
So many of the rounds that we saw in this game just were off of like one big play or one poor decision. And like on product, you can't, it's not as punishing in that regard, because if you just make a bad play, like you lose point, but you don't lose like the round, you don't lose last. So at least there's no cap time for Ice Mob to stop. Well,
you were right about one thing for this game. That is the Münster is performing for the DuMmTm spot here really well still, especially in comparison, unfortunately, for Trendwell, making a big difference here. That's basically inverted logs for them, and it's kind of sad.
Yeah, it really is. And especially because he was running Quickie Pump. I don't know if that's just a Gullywash thing for them, but I almost wanted to see him go full what we call a Slice Rogue demo and run Lock and Load too. But again, it was SMD really just pounding for the side of the Russians, and you know, the rest of the players on his team kind of stepping up as well. Particularly, I point out TTY and Light Diaz. But just in general, the frag spread a lot better than it was on Snakewater for the Russians.
Yeah, obviously. I mean, they had just like a lot of still decent mid-fights, closer on the mid-fights overall, I guess, but still like largely better ones for them. A few ones that looked great for the Polish team anyway.
Trendwell got 17% heals. That explains a lot. That's...
I mean, they put their faith into SMD instead, I guess. Fair enough, he plays well, but someone's taking the short end of the sticky, unfortunately.
It does explain why the demo probably wasn't doing as well.
But see, that's the problem with this. You look at the heals and says, 70% heals. Well, fair, you just like play differently, right? But he takes so much more damage than like even most of anyone else on the server for that matter, besides of Roma. And that just shouldn't be the case here. Like, one of the two things needs to change here, either his attitude with how the team plays or the team's attitude towards him. Otherwise, this will just not get much better, unfortunately. And on product especially, where sure, the scouts will still run Supreme, but your DuMmTm can still have easily a huge impact once alive. If you want this guy alive.
Yeah, definitely. But that is really surprising to see. Like, he was kind of at a low heal percentage on Snakewater that I noticed. And I thought like, oh, that's kind of odd, but it's still like a pretty reasonable heal down. Just goes from like 20 something still. But like 17 is shockingly low for DuMmTm, especially on Gullywash. So, and the team just wasn't playing like they were having a low heal DuMmTm is the crucial part, as you said.
Well, let's see how this will work out for this map. Obviously, it's going to be a much different stories going for 5CP to King of the Hill here. Beautiful one to round it out with. The one map where there's definitively no golden cap at all. It's just going to be a winner or loser.
Yeah, I almost had to stop myself from saying first to 4 because I don't know why NA plays like this.
Do you at least have a config that ends once somebody gets 4, not 3?
Well, we have halftime.
Oh, that's even worse. In EU and UGC, people still have first to 4 as well. And it makes no sense because there's no config for that.
Well, I don't know. Who knows, man? It's this weird world. But I don't know. We do have time on the server, so we're probably going to be seeing the ready up come in shortly enough. But I don't know. Who would you lean this last map to? Because it's been so close.
I don't know. It's going to be difficult. I like after last map, the Russian scouts look scary, so that's going to be a big indicator, I think, already. It's going to be difficult to really only write it up to that, but like those guys, especially compared to the first map as well, where they didn't do bad, but in comparison did so much better on Gullywash here. Is a scary thing to look forward to. On the other hand, Nuclear One is a really, really good sniper, so that could easily make an impact, assuming they want to run that.
Well, SMD also seems a pretty keen sniper, so if that does come out, we'll have to see how the SPS does go. Nothing being rolled to mid, though, as you would kind of expect. And actually, the red team are going to get there very fast, going to go super aggressive. I was trying to, maybe try to just do something with that. Early soldier pumping gets absolutely doubled by a 1-2i. But trade a scout for it, so I don't know how this is gonna go. And yeah, I lose 3, but they do have point presence. Lydia and another scout go down. But despite that, now the Russians are in control of the point. Oh, this fight is so weird.
Alright, they want to test you a little bit with the scout of the Devilman. They're getting so much damage on it as well. They're getting them off the point. Stop the cap for now. Deep bomb in by the soldier. Tries to get the cleanup with the scout. Will be enough damage to get that kill. And looks like deputies will have to leave.
Yeah, that was so weird. It was just like 3 different refights at like Mandasat, and they just made it work every time. But I don't know. Soldier's gonna try to bomb it now. Like Diaz gets really stuffed. I don't know, they're trying to bomb it on this like even Uber, trying to be actually almost tight as well. I didn't quite see where that was, but probably just taking a lot of damage, as you said.
Well, it is the cap in Ice Mob's control here after all is said and done, so they're starting this map of Horde. Scout caught a long distance by drop soon as well. Gonna be helpful to stop some momentum here in terms of any play they want to do. They have the Uber, but they don't want to really commit right now.
No, Tranduil is playing so far forward, he's not even in his combo there. And just will get caught out for it. You hate to see it. And again, just he's being caught out, and his deaths are making a pretty big difference here as we see the first minute ticked off for Ice Mob just about. And it's still even Ubers, no one's popped. Trenduil tries to go for a bomb on the sack and just hits the train. Forgot that it's there, probably.
Well, that keeps the point control in Ice Mob's favor here with already a minute off the clock. It's a really, really strong start for them here. And all that just with the normal classes right now as well, which you do have to keep in mind, because at some point here, one team might just be desperate enough to switch things up. For now, they believe in the bombs, and it's good enough for the Force.
Man, the Russians have just literally been sacking for the Force for like almost a minute and a half at this point, and they finally get it. And it was even Uber, so like, that's a little interesting, but okay. I mean, they'll have the Uber advantage that they wanted now. It's Scout just being cut in super deep and late. So, I doubt they'll wait for him, but who knows. And they're not really taking a ton of it. Actually, never mind, they're just going to charge that Uber straight through main and not find a single kill with it. I almost forgot it was happening. And yeah, only getting one for that Uber is really poor for the Russians. We're gonna see Repush pretty much instantly.
Yeah, like they can wait for the Uber, they can just try to do this early, but people are capping too late for that one. Get caught for their attempt to even do that quite a bit already. People weak, people dying, 2 down at the end of that. At this point, just pull back, go back for the Uber, play it safe, get the spawns up, and do that instead. They have plenty time to work with right now, no time for haste just yet. Only a minute on their time as well, for that matter. So once the push sticks here and it kills the medic, that's as much as you might be needing here.
Yeah, and they'll try to take this through Cliff, get a soldier bomb in super fast. Wuktenga just gonna get killed, but did find a fair bit of space. And at least in Moose are picking up frags. They'll finally have to pop the Uber. It almost didn't have to. But that nice little bomb, I believe from 1-2y, did manage to find it. And yeah, just, well, the red players are gonna have an Uber to repush
really
this, but no
the
players.
I mean, you went all the way to spawn to try to get that.
You can't blame them when you pop in and don't get the med. You know, they want to try to deny this Uber ad pushback in, but it's not even really a big deal for Ice Mob because they can just play back and give up the point if it comes to that. What? Oh, that was a trap. Okay, I thought Trenduil just like did something weird again. And,
no, he just got really unfortunate. They didn't want to use early and they didn't check traps well enough though, so he just walked straight into that one. Late Uber still gets bombed in very quickly here. They want to recommit good damage by the soldiers to work off here, and it's just getting everybody in the end there.
Oh. I mean, all off of that Uber. That Uber went so deep despite them not even having point. Like, you can't blame them for, like, thinking, hey, I'm Ubered, I want to get something done, but you should not chase frags that far, and it's gonna potentially cost them the round. They do have overtime on the point, at the very least. Trento goes down again, trying to get forward onto the point is everyone. Light Diaz will find at least one with it, but the Uber's out on the point now. That has to be the first round for Ice Mob. And
well, that's a start.
It is a start. I don't know, what will we maybe see change? Could see snipers come out, or could just see both teams try to tighten it up a little bit, because, you know, Ice Mob did win that. It was fairly convincing at the time, but they had some places where it nearly slipped.
Yeah, that's for sure. I mean, hey, we're in open, no one's perfect just yet.
Okay.
So any small thing you can adjust to over the course of like a single map, let alone the season overall, since the last time we played it, the better.
Goes down instantly. Pipe. That was so unfortunate. Got piped and popped way up in the air. But Trando goes down, so this mid is actually not over at all for Ice Mob, and the health, despite having heals, is so bad for the Russians. And but I don't know, this player's getting a little aggressive trying to feed for Ulya, and they did almost manage to get him. Did some nice little dodging, but all of his team just doing a great job bunching up around him, defending for the inevitable sacks.
Yeah, that was close goal too. That was like a close range direct by Leeson in there to get like 100 on the medic, but no one else could get anything beyond that. So really close call for the Russians, but getting away with this for now. That's a good start. Focus fire was a bit lacking compared to the Polish side last map, so things looking up on the mid fight already.
Yeah, some sack attempts trying to come out. Grubson on the sniper, instead of what you mentioned, was, I believe you... Who did
Nuclear
you
one,
mention
yeah.
Nuclear one, yeah. And, I mean, he found one frag with it, and we'll just switch off, so... Maybe
Make
just trying to work the pick on the... Yeah, we'll also just trying to maybe work an angle on, like, push out. You can get little cheeky shots through the doors if they're not expecting it. But, I mean, hey, that will work. They did break what semblance of a forward hold the Russians have. Wukatenga just trying to go and live his best life, but both soldiers going down for it, and this is just a sack wave. Not gonna find as much as, well, more than 50 damage onto Ulya at least.
Really blind one as well. You have to expect him at some cliff. They wanted to have like people going wide though to try to get like a different angle, but just didn't live nearly long enough from the flank there. So shut down early. Doesn't matter. It's a bit of time wasted. He already well over a minute off the Russians' clock though. So we're not in a deep hurry just yet. Things need to get started here for Ice Mob to get back on tracks. For now, the Uber's here, so they can get stuff going, but we'll obviously try to find the best position to use from. And for now, that's not gonna happen. Scouts just on them instantly gets the drop on them.
Oh no, that's very unfortunate for Dardan, but Ulya did still have to use in the end at least, and he is completely disconnected, so he's just losing his team despite having Uber and popping it. Step 1, step 2, but not step 3 being followed there. Like, you need to actually click on the other people with the Uber, and unfortunately had no one to click on. And he's being chased by the scout? I don't even know what was going on. What? That was such a scrappy fight, but it will come out in the favor of Ice Mob, seemingly.
Yeah, with the spawn just fast enough to cap in time for the rest of the Russians are back. So they want to fight back, they have the numbers up now. No need to hold back here, and it looks to be working just nicely for them, just instantly forcing people back, getting the soldiers called as well.
Yeah, soldiers caught nice pipe spam from Trantwheel in the right spots, gonna find those kills, but like, I don't even know how the Russians win that fight. It really should have gone the way of Ice Mob, I think, but I don't know, just the little things. Ice Mob not wanting to commit too much to that, but they're actually gonna have an even more dominant time score than the Poles did on their time. 2:45 to almost 30 seconds now.
Big bomb by the soldier, gets the medic. Couldn't be saved. Can they salvage anything out of this one though? It seems like it. They got the force at the very least, but still no time right now. Soldier number 2 on the medic as well. Body block, but it's got for a second, not for long enough though. Gets the kill there.
Maybe would have wanted his scout with him. Unfortunately, Ulya's scout, I think he tried to chase the other scout all the way to blue spawn and still didn't get the frag. And so bad get bombs in the meantime, so that's a little unfortunate. But I mean, 3 seconds left on this cap. It's gonna take a monumental hold for Ice Mob to win this round.
Well, they have no choice but to try here, even with everything stacked against them. The one thing they have going for them is the EWAD right now, and obviously the map control right now, trying to forward, but a very half-hearted attempt to do it. 2 people forward, one of them dying already. Bombs come through, trying to make the most of it on the Russian side, not currently doing too much. Soldier number 1 down already. Light Diaz tries now as well with the Devil Man here, looking to get at least close to the medic, but not really any damage.
Ulya
Lost down in the meantime.
If they were just trying to break the forward hold or go for a sack, he should not have been even near there. Okay, well, I was about to just like say how the hold was kind of half-assed from Ice Mob, but they actually got so much out of it. Less because their hold was good and more just because the medic walked out for no reason, but okay. At least an air goes down trying to hold on grass, and that's gonna be the forward hold again broken for Ice Mob, and oh my god, Dead surfing like a madman! It doesn't even pop. What an absolute balls of steel on this map. Oh, but there's a spy on the other scout.
Yeah, took damage.
Did
They
he?
must have realized.
Scouts randomly shooting around. You gotta think they know.
There we go. Doesn't matter when the soldier just bumps when everyone's distracted. Make the most of it, I guess. If they're
It's
not
the
looking
reverse.
forward,
Instead of the soldier, instead of the soldier distracting for the spy distracts for the soldier.
The force also makes them try to forward hold, which is really funny actually. They had all the time they want to do it anyway, but now is the time they strike.
I mean, okay, that works out, I guess. He's still got a backstab onto the demo man. Oh my, okay, this is the open game we were so expecting to see. They will at least have to pop the Uber in or in connector, which is really weird. But not gonna matter all too much because they only have 3 seconds on this point. They don't need to worry about an Uber repush. But at least they do have 3 seconds on the point, but it's not even gonna matter. No player's alive to try and get overtime. And
turns out the
we're
most
even
crucial
now.
skill Ice Mob's missing is object permanence here. Spy's gone, don't worry. He doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah. That's what we all wish. Just turn around, their whole team's gone.
Well, one way or another, this is a tied up game again. 2 strong rounds from each team here once, but that needs
Winston's
2
back on
from
the
one
quickie
now.
bomb. Winston's back on the quickie bomb, I'm excited. We had scouts just putting across the point for the Russians and not gonna die or get anything. As Huliet just gets bombed in response, hey, no scouts by the med, free bomb. And that should be mid the way of Ice Pick, but I say that and they're actually kind of getting pressured a lot. But those frag from Munster and Soldier should secure a repush.
No ideas with the high bomb.
And the demo, man.
Huge bomb by the Russian soldier.
Meanwhile, Trendu is just capping the point on his own.
I don't think he's gonna keep this one though. There's so many people. He's just stuck by himself.
Well, they're not gonna keep it, but they've secured a, well, at least even repush in, and
Automatic
at least a
guys as
little
well,
bit. How? Why?
Mr. Bionicle name just jumped in deep and found him somehow. Just committed out of spawn with like 3 people dead for some reason.
I don't know the Bionicle lore. I'm gonna trust you on that one.
I don't actually know if it is, but it does sound like one.
I wouldn't be surprised. It's a serial number, really. But either way, they're gonna try to make a repush. We're gonna need to find Elise in there. So the even Uber's working out the quickie trap. No one cleared it, but it didn't find anyone. The medic almost backed into it if he'd waited a second longer. But they did lose Dardan on that, so a good hold for the Russians. They're gonna be looking like.
Just a really scrappy started round, a couple seconds traded each. Finally, maybe something sustainable for deputies. Having this huge advantage on the point now. Maybe just like a solid minute or so of the timer here, unless a good sack wave comes out. So far, Ice Mob struggling on those. That's been like one of the weaker points here. Still trying anyway, hitting the train face first and not going anywhere though. Here comes the second wave of this one, and that's weak already. Ooh, that is
actually,
they
he
fear
did
the
pop.
people
Okay.
around.
Yeah, you can't blame him much for that. And Dardan is in spawn, so no need to fear. And I mean, they don't have the Uber quite yet, but once they come out, you would expect to see them try to break this hold. I mean, I say forward hold, it's only the demo on the cliff. I saw the demo there and I just assumed his team was with him, but no, Trentul is just playing Roamer right now. What is going on? Finally gonna see their actual Roamer bomb onto the medic, not gonna find the first. Got close, good first rocket. Never mind, Light Diaz gets the drop. Okay.
Well, that makes things a lot easier.
It does. They'll still probably get the point on Ice Mob, but that doesn't really matter. I mean, it does literally matter, but like, it doesn't really. I don't know. At least in there, tried to find a little cheeky spot, but he did go down in it. Nearly. I heard that noise and I thought it was Ulia dying, but it wasn't. I don't know. Demo Man getting bummed, but let's just point back the way of Russians pretty uneventfully, to the dismay of the Ice Bomb soldiers. And I don't know, it's just Russians starting to kind of look like the better team, seemingly really knowing what they're doing here. Apart from Tranduil, really. But it's not really gonna matter if they're just getting kills. Scouts right now really on top of the sack wave. Demo Man managed to finally get the force. Münzner, it's a nice little sticky onto him. Didn't want to fear.
As we have a pause. Oh no, is this the tech issues coming in?
Oh, I hope
it might be. We do still have 12 on the server, so...
Well,
it's not the end of the world just yet.
12 on the server in STV. I don't know if you're looking at real time.
No, I'm looking at the real time right now.
Oh, okay. So, hopefully that's good. I mean, you hate to see in a grand finals like tech issues cause anyone.
The only thing that could be causing some troubles here is like yes, ping, but I mean, if you're just far enough from East Russia, well, Eastern-ish Russia, I guess, you just tend to have that sort of ping to like a lot of like even Eastern like EU servers, like this one might be.
Yeah.
So I mean, that might just be the natural ping here. Who knows? I didn't notice it before.
Mission ends in 10 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, it is... I actually don't know where this server would be, because these are both, like, Eastern European teams, so, like, you wouldn't... I don't know where that would typically be hosted, but you'd imagine they would try something that was pretty even. Just how it works out sometimes, but... I don't know, like... If they are gonna have tech issues, it would be really unfortunate, because these guys are really close, all things considered. That if they have to, you know, cycle in a player or whatever, that could disrupt everything. And you did mention that was a problem for them before.
Yeah, we'll see, I guess. I mean, you never wanted to come down to that, especially not in the middle of a game, especially not in the middle of a game 3, where you don't have much time to warm up as the like player being tagged in late, just to come in for like a few minutes and try to make the most of things, and that you're being thrown into like halfway through what is the decider here. It's gonna be awkward if that comes down to it, so let's hope that's not the case. For now, it doesn't look like it, but someone's clearly having some issues, so they're taking their time to resolve that, whatever it might be.
Yeah, that's probably the best course of action, all things considered. You don't want to have this on, you know, whether it's last round or like... Even just having like that long pause if it is a crucial round can really just disrupt how you think about the game, right? Like, it completely stalls any momentum you would have. But, I don't know, I think... You're saying it should be resolved, but who knows?
Well, that's resolved and also not anything too crazy.
Yeah, well, you have to hope. Well, at least it won't be like 2 players like the last time, at least as of now. But who knows? I mean, it's understandable they want to take their time on this. It is such a crucial game. But I don't know.
Well, this is as good a time as any to just remind everybody that there's a lot of games tonight. And what we have a pause over here, you can just go to your URL up top and change the number from a 3 to a 2 or just no number at all, and you'll find low and mid grand finals as well on TFTV 1 and 2 going on basically simultaneously. I guess they started at 21, so they're just like in the middle of map number 1 right now, as we are finishing off anytime soon here. Once this pause happened in STV time, I guess, we find out who
there was a scout in the corner and he's behind them. This could be big, but the Uber's gonna come out, so he's just gonna have to bide his time. And 2 frags were found for the Polish side, so this will actually be point to them. That's really unfortunate for, I believe that was, no, it was the Bionicle boy in behind. He actually still found Münzner. It's a little surprising. I mean, he was like, he did the little like cheeky stand on the box and elbow and then wrapped a spun, but by the time he actually got there, the Uber was popped, so he couldn't really find anything.
Alright.
But
let's see how this develops from here, though. The Russians still have this huge ad right now, and a demo pick to work with as well. Someone has to go crazy right now, and so far, no one really can.
Oh, Dredon goes down with the Uber, so that's all the Russians are really going to care about. Capped the point, got the med. What more do you need in life?
20 seconds by the looks of it, and to be happy, and then they can call this match point already. Let's see if they get the wish granted here. They don't have Uber anymore, and with how little time there's no reason for the Polish side to wait here. They're just gonna hightail this to point and make a fight a bit early. Trap doesn't really get anything. Followed up by some pipe.
Pipe on Tranduil. Yeah, just spamming Cliff works out sometimes. And another one onto Grimson will secure it. Soldier frags in the end. Everyone dropping on the point. Not gonna.
Okay, this is what the pause was at the end of the round. The Russians called for it. No mention as to what it was for. So there's that. But hey, I mean, it's fair, you have a pause. on your disposal in the game, and it's clearly not want to disrupt the opponents. It's clearly they're still winning for now. 2-1 up, like I said, match point for the Russians here. One more will do. Can Ice Mob get 2 before that, though?
Hard to say with how the play has been going, and I think in the last couple of rounds, Ice Mob has really looked kind of like they are getting edged out by the Russians for the first time. Like, they started out pretty strong, but it feels like they've really found their groove. SMD goes down, trading for Book-Tang on this mid. So, I don't know, nothing really... There's trades being traded, but the positioning is just so much better for the Russians that it's going to be the first cap their way. But, I don't know, the Ice Mob are still kind of fighting this. There's a scout in. Soldiers bombing now, so... It's hard to say who's really won. No one's really secured the area yet. It looks like Wilder should be Ice Mob. I mean, there was a cap, but it didn't really matter. We are taking a fair bit of spam actually trying to walk in. They're still just really fighting this. Everyone's just gonna back off for a second and refight.
No one wants to fight as well. They have to point it, Steve. No one wants to die with the worst spawns right now, which fair enough, I guess, but at the moment Ice Mob's on the upper hand. He is slowly gaining the time, even just by a second. Will have to use very early though.
Oh, and Ulya, he is completely safe. Not gonna have to use. Finally gonna pop it out just with the fear of the bombs. And Dardan will not be found. He's all the way out. But this looks like it's gonna be a forward hold as soon as these soldiers do get cleaned up. Or you'd have to imagine it will be. As I said though, they're doing the thing again where it's only Tranduil. These will finally hold the S key. But I don't know, I'm surprised they didn't try to set up more forward.
Well, we'll see if it works out for them sticking with point right now. They're letting them obviously get out of spawn for free, but if they can hold them off for longer behind point, it's all fair game here as the bombs already come through. Part denied by the soldier there, mid-air. Losing going down. Still, they're pushing off it anyway, getting some good damage, and looks like the behind point hold not working well enough here just yet.
Yeah, that Illusionaire bomb is probably a little predictable. He's been doing that thing from like one side's pride to the other, like every single push, and I'm sure they've predicted it at this point. Now they're gonna be the red soldier bomb counter bomb. Oh, didn't hit the sick air shot onto Dardan. That would have been a very nice rocket, but he'll still force in the end. The second soldier gonna get the job done. And they will actually manage to stall the cap. I didn't think they would be able to. But just frags only 2 with the Suber, so it's not ideal for Ice Mob. But the Russians will not manage to cap the point.
Well, time's ticking for Ice Mob, and it better be.
I mean, that's all that matters.
Yeah, but maybe not for much longer here. The question is if they can fight this back quickly. For now, SMD gets sniped. It keeps this in their possession. Deep bomb in by the soldier. Gets a lot of damage on the medic. Sees the demo moment's the easier pick. Gets something out of this before dying for no reason. The medic gets the pack as well. So worthwhile switch to make there. Gets the kill. He 2 down already on the Russian side. Still trying to go in for the medic, and that will work.
I don't know how that worked out, man, but it did. And they will maintain Ulya, so even if the frags are going to go in favor of Ice Mob and the point time as well, they'll be able to make this repush work theoretically. Actually,
such a close call. There's another soldier on the other side.
Oh, they did manage to finally get Ulya.
Yeah,
I mean,
soldiers go
really...
from one side, then the other soldier just wraps the other way around to still get the kill anyway, despite dodging that so nicely.
Yeah, I mean, it would have been pretty bad if after all that they still didn't manage to get the kill onto Ulya. But they did, so no harm, no foul. Point cap for the Russians, but repush kind of coming shortly from Ice Mob. Soldier demo bombs, Tranduil goes down. So that's a lot of position taken, and yeah, no, Russians are already out. Just we're trying to probably find Dardan on that. Actually, no, there's a scout in all the way behind. That is once again Bionicle Boy. He's in the exact same spot he did last time.
At this point, it's like Senior Bionicle at this point.
Yeah. I mean, he's in the same spot he was last time. I don't think they were aware he was there. Just gonna maybe try to spawn cap that soldier? No, he's in behind now. Dardan just goes down to a pipe. He doesn't even need to do anything.
Even better. Now the rest of the team has time to clean up more, which really does not happen at all. So that's still a little bit problematic. It doesn't waste too much more time, but still it's like 7 seconds for a scouted soldier right now. I mean, not too much time to waste. You have a minute, but still.
Yeah, Ulya lives, which is the important thing.
Yeah, indeed.
And I don't know, it's so funny, like, Tranduil just got the luckiest pipe of his life.
Well, a couple more of those, it's going to be curtains very shortly here. Let's see. Uber comes in, they clean up a little bit here. Dota not currently one of them, trying to escape all the way through spawn, take some damage, but no one's really close to them just yet. So it seems like they're getting out of here on the Polish side with the, well, arguably not really much of an advantage in hand, but at least they have it, right? This has to do some damage. 40-second on timer. If they get on it and kill the medic, it's like it should be over in theory. Question is how easy the Russians will make this for them, and they really can't afford to make this easy at all.
You say in theory, but this game has been so chaotic. I don't know how much theories really apply here. As
bomb comes through already. Ooh, not quite enough. Does the scout double down? They want to, but everyone's just body blocking the door frame there. No one gets through. In the end, the Verdant gets out. It's all they want. Bomb in by ideas. Gambles for the left door there. Does not work out in their favor, but hey, gets out with the kill.
Like, it's just all around the map. Bombs with the combo, goes all the way back to kill the flank. And yeah, this Uber ad isn't even gonna have to be utilized for the Russians. Derdan actually almost died with 93, so that could have been absolutely disastrous. He will still have the Uber, so they can go for like one last fight onto this. And I don't know, they're gonna just be pushing in the Uber. Gets popped in the nest, but there's no one playing the point. Finally gonna get just enough overtime on it, but they need to stand completely on it. But they will go down. That is GG's. And Open is won by the deputies.
Yeah, the Russians will make it work in all the other divisions. The Russians fell short fairly early in the playoffs race. In mid, they didn't make it. In low, they got to the first round of playoffs. The teams that make it to 2. In Div 2, they didn't make it either. And Div 1, I guess, there's still Russians in finals right now, but it's not a full Russian team. In Open, the Prodigies are making it work for them and taking the win here. So, yeah, after the tough start they had, really, really impressive. With all commiserations to Ice Mob, they were playing really well. These are like two of the biggest like communities in European Tier 2. Poland and Russia are really, really like big player bases here. So it might not be surprising to see constantly new talent rising up, but the fact that they consistently like find their way up here is still quite impressive. And well deserved for both of them. Deputies taking the win here tonight, just looking that bit better on these 3 maps.
Yeah. And I think for the first time, really, we have seen these stats are just very, very close. Tranduil finally kind of getting up there. But I don't know. Again, it's just no team like really was rolling, which is good to see. You know, you can sometimes, especially these low levels, you see like one team is just so much better. But in this case, it was very, very close.
They're both each other's biggest rivals in the end. We've seen it once before this season, and coming true once more here, but hey, now they can compete in the slightly bigger leagues in the low division next season, I suppose, whenever that will be, and whatever is happening in the meantime, I guess, as well. They can try their best in as well here, so I'm looking forward to seeing more of these guys. Like I said, some of them have been around since like the Fresh Meat Cup even, so not that long at all, making their moves up here, so that's interesting to see. And like you said, who knows how far they make it, right? Sometimes people just go the whole distance here. Will be interesting to see. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, we'll have to see, you know. Who knows, maybe give it a year or 2, you could see seeing some of these guys all the way up in Prem. It's possible.
Definitely some talent here. Well-deserved win for the Russian side once again on deputies. Close one overall, though, and the Polish side really made them work for it. I really enjoyed what we saw here.
Yeah, always good to highlight the efforts of these newcomers. You know, it's really just something you want to see. But if you're still hungry for more TF2, we're not the only ones here. While our game is over, we have the mid and low grand finals also happening on TF2 right now. And later tonight, we're going to have an NA triple header as well. 3 different grand finals there as well. Amateur, IM, and main. So if you're going to be awake for that, then that's something definitely worth checking out. We've got Ramad.
Oh no.
We do have Raman because we had like, hey, they decided to schedule a 3rd grand final on the same day, so we need a 3rd producer because my internet's too bad.
Can't believe he bails on producing for EU because he's playing, he says. You mean it's Highlander, so that's just a lie. Highlander isn't playing the game, we all know that. But yeah, I mean, good for you guys to get all those games going. It's going to be interesting one there as well. And with that, to not miss out on too much TFTV, we can just throw you over to whichever match Beta wants to watch, I guess. I give the choice to him. Be it TFTV 1 with the mid game or 2 for the low game. One of the two you'll see in a second, so see you on the other side.